good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. And we're going to have a number of interesting conversations this morning. And this morning, the topic is Tobago Carnival. To have this conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of sitting in studio with Mrs. Marcellin Nedd, who is one of the Tobago band leaders. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
We see you shining bright in your colors here this morning. Welcome to the Tobago Updates set.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Now, we've heard a lot coming out from the band leaders in regards to what's happening for the Tobago 2024 Carnival. A number of concerns have come forward, but can you, as we begin the conversation, tell us where you are right now in regards to everything that's happening?
Okay, well, this is my third year in the October Carnival. Last year the first year was tough because we was coming out of the pandemic, but we didn't do too bad that first year. And then last year I said, well, okay, let me try it again. It was kind of tough, but in the end, it came out smoothly. And this year, well, saying this is my third year, and they say third year is a charm, but I'll be honest, it's still tough. Things are slow. People are asking, is they having a Tobago Carnival? Because they are not really hearing nothing, no advertisement. They write to sponsors, they're not getting no response from sponsors. So it's kind of tough, but I'm still holding on, being one of the longest band leaders in Tobago, participating over 20 years in the business. So I'm still holding on.
Well, we know that you have been in the carnival and mass band business for a very, very long time. What strategies do you think needs to be implemented from the band leader's perspective to, get persons to buy into the product that you are selling? Even though you have been in the game for a long time, we have new bands coming on board. But what strategies have you implemented to really regain the support that you've had in the past?
Well, what I did, I hit more use Facebook, Instagram, a friend tell a friend, so you have them sharing it to other person. Well, this year for the first time, my band journey to Brooklyn on behalf of the THA. I had a other band leader who's associated with my band. They have their own, but they wasn't taking part in October Carnival. And as she had her visa and everything, she journeyed, and we get few response, but some of the remarks from the persons saying that the Brooklyn Tobago Day could have been better. It didn't had much participation where bands were concerned and were advertising the Tobago Carnival, because they thought the Tobago Day would have more focus on the October Carnival.
I'm glad that you brought that up. That's a good point, because that's where the diaspora is located, and that would have been an excellent opportunity to have an entire marketing campaign done during the Tobago Day experience in New York. Right? But you have what we would deem a legacy band. Bands where now persons who would have played with your band, let's say 20 years ago, now have kids. And so now there's an opportunity for you to tap into, having parents and their kids now playing with the band to create that ongoing tradition. Have you thought about, tapping into that and marketing to parents who would have played, when they were young, to now bring their kids on board to play and have both parents and kids playing in the band to have a very memorable carnival experience?
Well, that is what I was thinking at first, but it sounds so easy, but it's not, because some of the older ones and them who used to play with me, and they say, I don't know with that. I leave that for the children. And then some of them will tell you, well, the kids and them going camp and so forth. So, it's kind of hard, but the background that I come from is a family of carnival, and I'm just trying to still keep the tradition alive. So I'm going with it. as I was telling somebody, I'm come from a cultural background. Singer, dancer, actor, you name it, I have done it, been there, and I'm just wanting, to keep that alive and give back.
Excellent. And how has the late announcement of the budget for the Tobago October Carnival impacted bands and band leaders?
Oh, they finally give a budget? Well, I'm bad. I have not heard anything
Yeah,
about the
well, I
budget.
read it in the news story earlier that the CEO for the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited would have announced that the budget is $9 million for the carnival.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that they have a budget, but what I would like to know from that 9 million, how much support of that 9 million would be going to assist bands in this October Carnival? Because, as I said, I was in the article the Newsday, and my emphasis was sponsors coming on board to at least help bands along the way. And if it is they're having a budget of 9 million, I would like to know how much in that 9 million that bands like myself would be in, getting out of it to at least help with the bands to be on the road, to be prepared at this late hour, because just some days away from October Carnival.
Right. And usually, is it that you guys would get a grant that would assist with preparing for the carnival? And to what extent would that assist with putting forward a quality product for the carnival?
Well, last year they had through Toka. I'm a member of Toka, through Toka, that the president and the vice president would have spoken with the secretariat and the secretary for tourism, and they had came up with a band house that bands like myself would have gotten masqueraders to come in at a percentage of, you pay $1,000 and they would give us back $1,000. But this year, it is not happening this year, and we of ourselves have to do it on our own. So I really cannot say, I wouldn't put my foot in my mouth and say I know what is taking place. I don't know. Through the president, Mr. Dexter Sandy, he would have put a proposal to the festival, and we have not heard anything back. So now that they have given our budget, I do hope that we can get some feedback.
Right. And what do you think is the importance of having a consistent collaboration and communication with stakeholders like yourself throughout this carnival season? Now, I know that there is the Tobago Promoters Association, but is it that you guys are liaising with them, and through them they are communicating your frustrations to the administration and to the Festivals Commission? Or do you have a direct line of communication to the Festivals Commission to express some of these concerns that you may have as the festival grows?
Well, as I said, there's where Toka come in. So as a group of band leaders coming together and form Toka, so we keep our Zoom meeting, so we will say what is being affected by the band leaders, and they know when they have meetings with festivals through the secretariat, they will liaise and let them know, well, all right, this is what band leaders will like to see happening, and so forth, so forth. It is just like the Tobago band leaders for Carnival. This is how Toka works on behalf of band leaders.
Right. And then there's a conversation happening that is leading towards totally eradicating that February Carnival in Tobago. How do you and other band leaders feel about that?
That would not work. It's national. The October Carnival is private, and I will say it again, being vocal from this February Carnival. In order for that to happen, you have to go back to Parliament in order for that to happen. So that would not work. It would not happen. And band leaders, we are gonna come out again if they are trying not for next year carnival.
Right.
Cannot work.
And if there isn't any support financially from the Tobago House of Assembly, do you think that the band leaders would be able to, get the type of financial support from the private sector that is needed to carry it on without that type of support?
Well, there is where the organization will have to come in. We will have to do like what we used to do long time when we were in CBA, right, to corporate sponsors and see where thing lead, and once they come on board, well, then we wouldn't really need the THA or have to beg and plead to the THA for any assistance, because bringing mass is not easy.
But don't you think it's very difficult for Tobago to try to compete with Trinidad during that February carnival?
No, I don't think so. Because there are persons from Trinidad that play with my band that says they can take that big hustle and bustle. They enjoy what Tobago have to offer. Then you have tourists that come to Tobago to enjoy what Tobago have to offer, and they do play with bands and have a wonderful time. So why cut that? Right?
So how do you think the February festival can be structured to be differentiated from what is happening in Trinidad that makes it a lucrative investment, not only for the private sector, but also for the THA?
Well, what I think needs to happen, we need to have a meeting with all stakeholders and hear from everybody's perspective, even the band leaders' perspective, so they will get the idea of what we do, how we go about putting a product together to make the carnival in Tobago alive. But we cannot do it without the support of the Tobagonians and them. They cannot sit back and say, oh, it ain't gonna work, it ain't making no sense by bad talking it. They have to come out and show your support behind everything, because we are doing this not only for ourselves, we are doing this to promote the Tobago of itself.
Right. And even as we wrap up this morning, is there any call to action that you want to put out there? Is there any persons that you want to engage, whether it be persons to join your band or the THA to invest in band leaders to give them the assistance to put out a quality product, or to the private sector to come on board and assist?
Well, as I said it in my article, bands would have reached out to corporate sponsors. Some will get and some won't get, because who know who, but we are still asking the corporate sponsors to please come on board so that this October carnival could be much better than next year. And as of myself, well, my theme for this year is Roman Empire, the rise and fall of Rome. I'm doing historical mass, and we are reasonable this year. So persons who are interested can contact me at 366-1718, 366-1718. I'm located in Scarborough, number 23 Pigott Street. We have a band house sale going on right now, because we are doing Juve, night mass and pretty mass. So feel free to call us. We are on Instagram and we are on Facebook.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Marcellin Nedd, and we wish you and your associates all success in this October Carnival. Again, thank you guys. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawn.
Kyrie People presents